as though to attempt to offer a small ray of hope. It didn't work. Swallowing her nerves, Sabrina opened the car door, stepped out, and tugged her fleece pullover down around her hips. She ignored the late November wind that whipped her hair across her eyes and sent a chill up her spine. She approached the ragged wood meant to pass as the front porch. At the bottom of the steps, she assessed it. Would it hold her? She placed one foot on the first step, then the second. It trembled, but held. She reached the top and banged on the door. "Jordan? Are you in there?" Nothing but the sound of the dog barking next door. "Come on, Jordan, you called me." The teen had been on her radar for a while. She'd done everything she could to help the kid, even trying to foster his interest in photography and meeting him at the office to tutor him after school. It seemed as if he'd been trying so hard lately, going to school and not causing any trouble. Until now. Although she had to admit, he'd sounded truly scared on the phone. She banged on the door again. "Jordan!" A thump sounded from inside. She jerked and stepped back. What was she doing? She shivered. He'd warned her not to come, that it was dangerous. When she'd put the address in her GPS and realized where she was going, she'd almost backed out and let the police handle it. But Jordan had sounded so scared, and Stephen had been her friend. If there was a chance she could find out who killed him, she wasn't going to pass it up. However, getting killed wouldn't help anyone. She didn't normally worry about that, but in her line of work, she never kidded herself that it couldn't happen. People got real testy when you took their kids away from them, and sometimes she had to go into areas it was best she didn't go. At least not without backup. She glanced back at her car, then at her watch. Where was the officer? Scanning the area, she spotted a neighbor directly across from her. The woman caught her eye, then stepped back to close the door. People around here minded their own business. It was safer that way. She took another step up and held on to the rickety railing. Her nose twitched. The smell of ammonia hung in the air. A hose ran the length of the trailer to disappear into a cracked window. She knocked again. "Jordan? Come on!" A clanging sounded to her left. She jerked and turned, slow and easy. Had one of the neighbors dropped something? Kicked a metal can? Nothing. No, wait. A shadow? Was someone around the corner of the trailer? Her gaze flitted from one trailer to the next, looking for any sign of life. Deserted was the word that came to mind. Or everyone was in hiding. A bad feeling gathered in her midsection, and her pulse picked up speed as her adrenaline surged. She glanced back toward the end of the trailer where she thought she'd seen the shadow. Was someone watching her? Ever since Stephen had been murdered 4 weeks ago, she'd felt watched, spied on, and right now she definitely didn't feel safe. She glanced back at her car, then swiveled to look at the trailer. But what if Jordan was in there and he needed her? What if he was hurt? She called the Wrangler's corner dispatch. Tara answered. "I'm at the Prescott trailer. Where's my backup, Tara?" "He's on the way. Should be pulling in any minute." "Tell him I'll be waiting in my car." "Will do." She hung up. A low wail from inside the trailer reached her ears. She gasped. A baby crying? Or at least a young child? Or was it some sort of animal? Oh, Lord, please tell me what to do. She lifted her chin. Only one thing to do when no one answered the door, and she thought a kid might need help. She twisted the knob and felt her heart sink. The door was locked. She'd spun to head back to her car to find out where her backup was when a loud crack sounded, followed by a thud near her left ear. Sabrina froze for a split second. Had someone just shot at her? Sheriff's Deputy Clay Starke wheeled to a stop in front of the beat-up trailer. He heard the sharp crack and saw the side of the trailer spit metal. A shooter. The woman on the porch careened down the steps and bolted toward him. Terror radiated from her, spiking his adrenaline. He shoved open the door to the passenger side. "Get in." Breathless, she landed in the passenger seat and slammed the door. Eyes wide, pupils dark black holes in the blue surrounding them, she lifted shaking hands to push her blonde hair out of her eyes. Clay got on his radio and reported shots fired at the Prescott trailer. He glanced through the back of the squad car. If someone was shooting, they needed to be